Listen up, because what I'm about to tell you is the one secret women protect with everything they've got. And no, it's not their past or their body count. It's something far more primitive, a deep-seated truth that most men are too blind to see. The terrifying awareness of their own existential fragility. Look at the world today. The whole independent woman narrative and the modern empowerment circus are just elaborate smokescreens designed to bury the fact that, at her core, a woman knows she is fundamentally vulnerable. I'm not just talking about physical safety here, though that's part of it. I'm talking about a deep, psychological and emotional fragility that no amount of career success or social media validation can ever erase. The man who truly understands this, who doesn't look away, holds a level of power that is absolute simply because he refuses to participate in the collective lie. Now, before we break down the biological reality that drives this, do me a quick favor. If you're serious about mastering your frame and understanding the real mechanics of attraction, hit that subscribe button right now and turn on notifications. We're building a community of men who refuse to live in a fantasy world, and I want you to be part of the inner circle. Go ahead, subscribe, and let's get back into the deep stuff. See, a woman's biological value is tied to a window that is brutally finite. While a man can build his status and resources over decades, her most valuable currency, her youth and fertility, has a visible expiration date. This isn't being mean, it's just cold, hard biology. This is why you see that wave of panic hit when they approach 30. They realize the high-value men they actually want are looking at the younger version of them. This awareness of time as an enemy eats at them silently, and the moment you stop simping or begging for her approval, you reveal that you see the game for what it is. You stop acting out of neediness because you realize that, in the grand evolutionary scheme, she actually needs your stability and strength more than you need her temporary validation. This brings us to the Machiavellian side of the game. Niccolò Machiavelli once said it's better to be feared than loved if you can't be both. And in modern dating, that translates to respect over comfort. Women don't actually respect the man who treats them as an equal in the way the media describes. They crave the man who subtly reminds them of their own fragility. They want a man who is a prize to be won, not a servant who is easily kept. If you behave like she's your only option, you've already lost. Attraction isn't built on loyalty alone. It's built on scarcity and status. You have to be the man who can walk away without a second thought because your life is built on a mission that is far bigger than any relationship. And speaking of missions, that's where most of you fail miserably. You make her the center of your universe, and that is the fastest way to kill desire. A woman doesn't want to be your world. She wants to be part of a world you're already leading. Your goals, your grind, and your ambition must always come first. When you abandon your purpose to chase her attention, you're basically screaming that you have nothing better to do, and that kills the tension that attraction thrives on. You need to keep that mystery alive. Be unpredictable. Don't be an open book that she can finish reading in a day. Use intermittent reinforcement. Be warm, then be focused on your work. Keep her mind orbiting around you, wondering where she stands. That mental fixation is what creates deep attachment. So here's the bottom line. Don't hate the game, and don't be bitter. Understand that every interaction is a power dynamic, and biology isn't something you can argue with. Your job is to build a life so powerful and a frame so solid that you become the rock she needs to cling to when her own fragility becomes too much to bear. If this message hit you where it counts, smash that like button and share this with a brother who needs to wake up. Make sure you're subscribed because what we've got coming next is going to completely flip the script on everything you thought you knew about power. Stay focused, stay dangerous, and I'll see you. Now, let's go even deeper into a layer of female fragility that most men completely overlook, their internal social jungle. You see, a woman's fragility isn't just about her relationship with you. It's about her relentless competition with every other woman in the room. Watch the mask fall when a younger, more attractive woman walks in. The atmosphere shifts instantly, the insecurity spikes, and she'll start looking to you for validation more desperately than ever. Most men make the mistake of instantly reassuring her, but the high-value man, he lets that tension sit. He doesn't get dragged into the gossip or the mean girl drama, By staying above the fray, you prove that your world is governed by higher standards and that calm, detached authority is like a magnet. It signals that you aren't easily manipulated by feminine social wars, which subconsciously forces her to level up just to keep your attention. Before we get to the most savage lesson from Machiavelli, let's talk about the rescuer trap. If you're finding this breakdown valuable and it's helping you see the game clearly, make sure you've hit that subscribe button. We're deep diving into the psychology that others are too afraid to touch. Don't just be a spectator, join the movement. Drop a value in the comments if you're ready to reclaim your power. Now, back to the trap. When a woman crashes into the cold wall of reality, when she realizes the boss babe lie didn't bring her the fulfillment she was promised, most men rush in to save her. They validate her illusions and tell her it's not her fault. But that's a beta move. You can't save someone from the truth. The man she actually respects is the one who holds his standards, the one who can look at her and implicitly say, "You made your choices, now live with them." It sounds cold, but that's where your leverage lives. This leads us to the final, and perhaps most difficult lesson: the willingness to be the villain. Machiavelli argued that a leader must know how not to be good when the situation demands it. In your world, that means having the guts to say no, to walk away, and to let her face the consequences of her disrespect without you being her safety net. She might call you selfish or cruel, but underneath that anger is a deep, primal respect, because she's finally found a man who doesn't bend. You have to realize that your greatest power isn't in what you give her, but in what you are willing to deny her. When you stop fearing the loss of a woman and start fearing the loss of your own dignity, the entire dynamic flips in your favor. The ultimate goal here isn't to be a manipulator, it's to build a life so powerful and full of purpose that women become a pleasant addition, not an existential necessity. This is the shift from being a chaser to becoming the prize. When you've done the brutal work of building your empire, whether it's your physique, your finances, or your mindset, her fragility becomes just another piece of information you navigate with intelligence. You stop being bitter because you realize she's just playing the hand evolution dealt her. So the question is, will you keep begging for scraps of validation? Or will you become the man whose attention is the ultimate reward? The choice is yours. If you're ready to master the game, hit like, share this with a brother who's still sleeping, and stay tuned for what's coming next. The transformation starts now. Now, let's talk about the silent killer of attraction that most men never see coming: the loss of the internal hierarchy. Here's a paradox that women will never admit, but their actions prove it every single day. They want to be important to you, but they absolutely do not want to be the most important thing in your life. The moment a woman realizes she has outranked your mission, your goals, or your self-respect, she starts leaking respect for you like a slow leak in a tire. It's not instant, but it's inevitable. Why? Because a man without a purpose bigger than a woman is a man who is easily controlled. And straight up, no woman truly respects a man she can manipulate. Evolution has programmed her to attach to strength and structure, not to a guy who orbits her like a lost puppy. If your world doesn't exist without her, you aren't a leader, you're a follower. And in the world of high-stakes attraction, followers don't get the prize, they get the friend zone or a messy breakup. Before we wrap this up and I give you the final blueprint for total mastery, let's do a quick check-in. If this series has been a game changer for you, you know what to do. Smash that like button right now to help the algorithm wake up more brothers. And if you haven't subscribed yet, you're literally leaving your power on the table. Join the movement, hit that sub button, and let's keep building this empire of grounded, high-value men. Now let's finish this. The real mastery comes when you understand that every relationship is, at its core, a power game. But here's the secret. You don't play to win against her. You play to win at life, and she becomes the passenger in your high-speed chase toward greatness. When you maintain that ambiguity, that feeling that you could walk away and survive, and even thrive without her, it triggers her deepest biological instinct, hypergamy. It makes her fight for your attention. Your silence, your boundaries, and your refusal to chase closure like a weak man are what give you authority. You aren't being cruel. You're being a man of value who knows his worth isn't up for negotiation. When she sees that your focus is unshakable and your dignity is non-negotiable, that's when the attraction becomes permanent. So here's the final truth. Don't go out there trying to fix or save anyone. Do the brutal work on yourself instead. Face your own shadows, build your resources, and sharpen your mind. When you operate from a place of deep understanding, seeing her fragility without judging it, but also without letting it drain you, everything changes. You stop being the man who fears losing her and become the man she is terrified of losing. That shift, that fundamental reversal of the dynamic, is the difference between a life of chasing scraps and a life of absolute abundance. This is only the beginning of your transformation. Keep your frame solid, keep your mission first, and never let the modern circus distract you from your throne. I'm proud of you for making it this far. Stay dangerous, stay focused, and I'll see you at the top. Look, we've covered a lot of ground today. The lies, the biology, and the cold hard truth about the power game. Most men will watch this, feel a spark of recognition, and then go right back to their old, needy habits. They'll go back to chasing validation and ignoring their own mission. Don't be that guy. You now have the blueprint. You understand the fragility that sits underneath the mask, and you know that your strength is the only real currency in this game. The world doesn't need more nice guys or simps. It needs men who are grounded, focused, and completely unapologetic about their value. The transition you're looking for doesn't happen overnight. It starts with a choice. A choice to stop pretending and start mastering reality. If you're one of the few who made it to the very end of this video, it's because you're built different. You're ready for the transformation. So if you haven't yet, check the links in the description. We've got more resources to help you sharpen your edge and dominate your field. This isn't just a YouTube channel. This is a brotherhood of men reclaiming their throne. One last thing. Hit that subscribe button and share this video with a man who's still lost in the modern circus. Let's wake them up, one by one. The game is yours to master, but only if you have the courage to play it right. Stay sharp, stay disciplined, and never let anyone outrank your purpose. I'll see you in the next chapter of your evolution. Peace.